Hi everyone, this is my final client presentation. My client is the Academic Peer Mentors and I am Haley Zavichinsky, and let's get on to it. So Academic Peer Mentors are known as APMs. They're a group of part-time BGSU student staff members that work in the Office of Residence Life. They work within one of our campus's 8 residential halls that is assigned to them. APMs work closely with their campus team, which is either east side or west side, depending on their residence hall location, and they are directly responsible to the graduate coordinator for academics and the assistant director for academic support and assessment, and my client is actually the graduate coordinator for academics. APMs serve as an individual who is able to provide mentorship to students in residence halls. This mentorship can include things like understanding a syllabus, understanding Canvas, time management skills, study skills, test taking skills, organizational skills, note taking skills, course registration, stress management skills, and many more. So ever since they were originated on campus about like 5 years ago, APMs have struggled to gain awareness on campus. I'm not sure if you guys have heard about them, but they have struggled among their time here on campus just to get participation and get students coming to their events and getting help from an academic peer mentor themselves. Even though they offer one program each semester in all 8 residence halls, the highest resident attendance documented in one residence hall is only 12 people. Also, on average, the APM programs attract about 15 residents. So basically, the program the APMs are facing is now being known, not being known on campus because they lack marketing materials to do so, which is where I come in. So by creating these marketing materials for them, I can help increase their recognition within the residence halls and hopefully drive more participation and awareness of the Academic Peer Mentor program. So my client and I agreed that our main goal is to increase recognition of the Academic Peer Mentor program on campus and increase student traffic within the RRCs, which are areas where the APMs work. It's kind of their office space, but it is welcome for walk-ins, people to hang out, people to study. It's in all of the dorms. So to measure these results, the APMs document each interaction with the resident, and they also track their attendance at their programming events. So by the end of the semester, we will see an increase in interactions between APMs and residents in the residence halls and at programming. The numerical goals that we wanted to measure are that each APM will hand out at least 10 brochures to their students in the residence halls and increase traffic in the RRCs by a minimum of 35% and have at least 30 residents attend a virtual programming event. Because of COVID, they are doing their programming mainly virtual. Sometimes they have like packages and stuff for their students to come in the RRCs, but for now we're just focusing on the virtual programming events that they attend and the attendance that comes along with those. So my deliverables for this project include a stress management brochure, a study tips brochure, and both of these brochures are two-sided. And then I also am including a Meet Your APM poster for each APM in each residence hall, which was a total of 14, but 2 people were let go since I began, and so I ended up making 12. And then hour signs for each RRC, which is each residence hall, and we have 8 of those on campus. And in total, I ended up making 24 designs. That's counting both sides of each brochure. These marketing materials were created to help achieve the goal set by my client and I to increase recognition and awareness and participation. The process for each marketing material I listed above are all the same. It's to discover the icon or logo, color scheme, typography set by BGSU standards, and then researching the content that I needed for each of these deliverables. This can include like the time management and studies tips in particular for the brochures and information like their majors, their hobbies, their names for the APM posters, and then also hours and residence halls for the signs. And then next is creating the design and layout in InDesign and Illustrator. And lastly is my revisions or edits set by my client. So a poster that introduces each APM will help residents recognize a familiar face in the residence hall. So when the APM is working their shift, the residents know who to walk up to and who to say hi to around the building. A poster also provides each APM's office hours, which will inform the residents on their days and times for walk-in appointments, which are currently updated at, or currently documented at like an all-time low, not only because of COVID, but because of their awareness and lack thereof. In my personal experience, I've been an APM for 2 years, and I've experienced only 2 residents walk into the RRC at all just for help. So like, as you can see, like based on my experience, they definitely need something to drive traffic and drive people to come in the RRC for help. So these are my wireframe and final side by side. My wireframe mock-up is on the left and my final is on the right. I ended up making 12 additional ones besides the one shown. Each one has varying names, information, and a picture, but they follow the same layout and look. Listed on the poster is like their name, their building, their year of graduation, their major, their hometown, hobbies, guilty pleasure, fun fact, and their favorite thing about BG. Moving on are the hour signs. Residents will recognize APM hours when they walk into appointments and be able to contact an APM because their email and like their contact information will be on there. Overall, just posting these signages and putting them throughout like the residence halls in particular will help increase awareness within them and drive more participation to the RRCs where the APMs work, and hopefully like help residents locate the RRCs because that's been a struggle too. So just like my posters, my wireframe is on the left and my final is on the right. This time I made 7 additional ones besides the one shown, which equals 8. Each one has varying contact emails at the bottom, dates and times throughout the week right here. In the middle between the need academic help and can't make these hours, contact your APMs. And again, I just made 8 of them and they all have the basic same look and style. Next is brochures. The purpose of a brochure is to serve as a resource of information on time management and study tips that APMs can hand out during programming events. Brochures are printed materials with little to no need to update, so they can kind of be a permanent resource for the program to use throughout the future semesters and programming events. Distributing these brochures to residents will also assist in achieving these goals by driving recognition and awareness. Also, the brochures include a section describing what an APM is so that they can spread awareness about the program itself and like define what an APM is and how they can help each resident. So next is the time management brochure mock-up. The brochures I just designed, they're both two-sided like I mentioned before, and as you can see on the right is, or on the left is the front of the brochure, or the page I guess, and the back is on the right. You might be a little confused now or can't really picture of how the brochure is going to hold, so I'll show you that in just a second. But this is what the final came out to be. The front is again on the left and the back is on the right. I decided to keep like obviously the BGSU colors to keep the BGSU branding. I made sure to include the Office of Residence Life on the brochure, and I put the contact resources on that back piece on the front one, just so that they if they're feeling like stressed out, they can contact like the counseling center, schedule an appointment with them, or if they're having any other issues, they can contact like campus police, city police, the crisis line, and like the suicide prevention hotline, because stress can definitely lead to something more serious like that. And having those listed on something physical can definitely bring stuff in. So this is what it would look like. And then next is the study tips brochure. Again, these brochures are designed two-sided, and you can see the front design is on the left and the back design is on the right. This brochure is about study tips this time, so yep. These are my finals. Again, the front is on the left and the back is on the right. I kept BGSU colors, and they tend to block a lot, so I was blocking things because I know that on the back side there are a lot of text on it, and which that seemed to be a struggle for me to include like icons and graphics in some way while also providing like the tips and techniques for studying. So I ended up just going with one on that side and blocking the rest of each paragraph off, so then it was kind of easier to read and didn't look like a whole literature book or something like that. This is it laid out. This is just the back side, which would be the inside. So my lessons learned throughout the course of this project, I've learned quite a few things. I tried to act like this project was like coming from me as a freelancer personally, and then acting as if like my client was one of my business's clients. This has taught me like how to speak professionally, communicate effectively, define and meet my client's expectations, and collaborate with the client. As I acted like this was like a real business transaction, I learned how to price my work, the amount of time the projects take, and what to deliver to a client when making like a project proposal like this. Um, Besides like these business aspects from the project, I also learned things about myself. This project has definitely been one of the largest and most time consuming ones I've taken on. That being said, I quickly learned how to manage my time. And since there are so many different pieces and details about this project, I had to like double check deadlines and make sure I was on top of literally everything. I made to-do lists, I looked up tons of extra research just to make sure that I was delivering the highest quality thing for my client. Towards the middle and kind of end of the semester, senioritis here, I felt extremely burnt out from classes and work. I had completely lost all motivation to do anything other than like binge watching TV shows and eating Ben and Jerry's. So I ended up taking some advice from my classmates, and I took that from a discussion post that we had in class, and I found motivation that ended up driving me to finish this project and finishing the semester off strong. At the end of it all, I guess I've learned how to really motivate myself and hold myself accountable for my own work. I would never want a client to be like disappointed in myself or disappointed in anything that I provide to them. Overall, I'm just really certain that everything that I have learned from this project and from this class, I can definitely apply to my future career and like my future projects with clients. Even though I don't know where I'm going to end up yet, I just know that like this was so beneficial for my career and like my learning experience. Um, so that's it. Thanks for listening and continuing to motivate me throughout this long project. I want to wish you all good luck on your future endeavors, and I can't wait to see your projects. Thank you.